I lost my mom when I was 1 year old. When I was 8 years old, my father got married again, and my stepmother abused me physically and emotionally and psychologically for 6 years. But at the same time, I met Buddhism through her. So I really practiced my whole life for 30 years. And Buddhism really helped me to go through all that, understanding of everything that I went through. I studied my whole life. I chanted and I did therapy for many years, like 7 years with therapy. It didn't work so much. I helped in some aspects because I was crazy for cleaning and because she was like that. And then some things improved, but the behaviors, why I was so aggressive, I couldn't, understand why I couldn't change that, even with so much chanting. I chanted hours per day, and I really went to the field. I was really good to manifest my whole life. I manifested everything that I wanted. But I couldn't get over of the feelings that I had and the emotions and depression. So I had depression for so long time. And then I came to live in the US and I met my husband very early, and then we got married soon. And once I got married, I understood how much that was inside of me and how I was behaving with him when he didn't do something that I thought was the right thing to do, because I was raised like that. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I was really controlled person. And then that started really make me look inside of me and see how much I need to change still, and how much I was in pain. And then I was already following Dr. Joe on Instagram, but I was just following and liking his quotes and, really liking and resonate with him. But then this friend of mine sent me a video from YouTube, his video, and when I heard, it was just like, it's what I was missing, just click it. 1 week later, I purchased the Progressive Intensive Workshop, and that week was like the breakthrough for me, because I really understood what was the piece that was missing, in my knowledge. And then when I understood about my body, I said, the depression is not in this new Patricia. I'm going to build a new personality, and the depression is in the old Patricia. This is not going to happen anymore. I'm not going to be crying when I have a difficult time, or I'm not putting myself in that situation anymore, in that victim position. We are living a time that people are really struggling with depression, and it's so difficult because you're healthy. Your body, you see your body, it's healthy, but it's inside, it's so painful. Depression causes so much pain, and you can see beautiful things. Yeah, you can appreciate, but it's painful. And when I got over of that pain, and I couldn't believe, so I kept watching. So in 90 days, I watched 3 times the workshop, and I couldn't go back to that person anymore. When I understood that I couldn't control what was going on outside, but I could control what was going on inside of me, and I could feel better, And then I just was a very hard work, because like Dr. Joe says, it's like, imagine 37 years, 38 years doing the same thing and behaving the same way. And I was like talking with my husband and say, I couldn't imagine that could be so hard, because the outside world really challenges, right? But is the point, so we need to be focused. My husband was seeing the difference in me and my son, and because we had like 15 months amazing, my son and I, and then he started to create his personality, and he started to behave like me. And then when I saw that, I said, this cannot happen. Something very strong inside of me said, he cannot repeat what you're doing. I started like seeing that it was really ugly, and I didn't want to have didn't want to repeat that through him. And I just felt that I was receiving downloads of information to understand my body better and being more aware of my thoughts, of my behaviors. And then I start to explain everything to my husband, to wire and rewire everything. And he was, and he was like, just, listen to me. And I talk a lot, and he knows that. But he was excited for me, for my transformation. Like in 60 days, our life changes so much, so much. And then he started watching, but he wasn't take serious. And I was telling him about the vibration once I understood. And I said, you need to really try to meet me where I am in the vibrational point, because I'm not feeling we are talking the same language anymore, and we don't talk the same language, so it's a little more difficult. Anyway, I manifested the workshop. I was really decided to get divorced because we went through a lot. It was like 5 years of relationship that I really put my life, to help him and his family. I manifested to going to the workshop, and he was okay with that, and he was happy, but he was like, okay, so I hope you come back different with another opinion of getting divorced. But once I went to the workshop, because I was following my intuition about the divorce, was something I knew that the relationship that I always dreamed about was possible. And he was saying that my expectations was too high, and I said, no, my heart tells me that it's possible, you have the potential for that. I prayed for you to come to my life. I prayed for you, for a guy with the same heart that I have. And if you came, it's because you have the potential. But you are not doing any work. You just started studying and doing some meditation, but you're not doing a lot. You're not present. He never was present when I was talking to him with our baby. Never. Everything that I talked to him, he was in the air thinking about work. And I got to go there, and then I had one whole week with visions and transcendental moments, and the divine showing me my past, my present, and my future, what I should do about my relationship. And then I said, okay, all the answers was to get divorced, to ask him to get divorced. But I was fighting against that because I was a little afraid, because I don't work, I have a baby, it's a lot of things to take care of. But I had the courage, because on the Friday, the walk meditation at Friday, the divine again, I just received all this energy into my body, a lot of downloads. I saw my neurons like just fading away with the memories of the traumas, everything. So everything was explained why I went through all that I went through in my life to be who I am now and to do what I'm going to do in the future. And the divine said, you need to go back and be strong and ask for divorce. And his parents came, and they said, we are with you, and had many angels around me. And they said, we are with you, don't be afraid. You need to do this. It's his wake-up call, and just do it. Then I went home and I asked my husband for divorce. And he couldn't get over, he wanted to know what was going on. And I said, I don't think we should be together, and you're not doing the work. And I talked with him, and he was very upset, he was very angry, but 2 days later, he's a great guy, great guy. He understood, he came back and he said, I understand and I'm very proud of you. You are so strong to do what you're doing, but I think I deserve a chance to go to the workshop too. And then I said, what? I said, okay, I think you're right. So let's do it. Try to find one workshop to register when open up, But do the work. And then when I got back, he bought all the the long meditations, the blessing of the energy center, synchronizing to love, all. He even didn't ask me the ones that I already had to share with him. He went and he bought all in his own. He bought the progressive workshop. He started studying, and then we started experiencing this shift, like the vibration in our house, our vibration. Our baby was happier. He was just understanding everything that I was telling him all the whole year that I was studying, you know. So he went by himself, and the first day that he was there, I just felt this love coming to me, and like strong, and just like explaining, you know, it's download, I think, that we always receive when we have these clicks, right? And just explaining that it was important that you know, I come home and ask him divorce because he just woke up. He just like, for his truth, because he's amazing. I just want to share that with him because it was making me so happy, and I knew that he had the potential we all have, right? And anyway, and then every day, and the second day he called, the first day already he called me saying, I'm so grateful for you. He was happy, crying, and he said, what happened in my meditation? I couldn't believe, and I cannot say thank you enough to you. And even Dr. Joe, what he's doing, it's like he was like thrilled, you know. And then the next day, and it was like just love coming. And then I fell in love for him again, and I understood all the process that we went through. When he got home, I was so in love for him. We just fell in love again, and our baby is the most happiest baby of the earth. Now, and it's like, and then we are manifesting and growing, and we cannot get over of the happiness that we are going through now. We look at each other and we just say, could you believe that this would be possible?